is Boxing Nation. Boxing Nation.
Shakur Stevenson told me that you asked for $120,000 in order for you to sanction that fight. Do you really believe that the WBC's involvement, however, nominal, is worth $120,000?
It's worth $1 million or $1. It is not about the money.
It's a big difference.
If it's not about the money, then why are you charging him? And why did you strip him? Because he didn't pay the money if it's not about the money.
Well, it's about the money to him. It's about the money to Shakur.
Well, he chose not to continue as WBC champion, and it was his decision.
But $120,000 is a massive amount of money.
That is not a market value. That is a percentage based on a speculation of what he was making on the money.
How do you charge somebody based on a speculation when you don't even know how much they're making? You're just going to raise the price or lower the price based on a speculation? That makes no sense at all.
Do you believe that you guys deserved $120,000?
Whether it was 50, 60, 300, 120.
Well, if it was 10, he might have given it to you. But if it's 120, that's a big number, man. That's a huge number.
They didn't ask. A fighter never has a complaint when they're making the little money. Every fighter, when they're making 100,000, 200,000, 1 million, they don't complain at all. It's when they make 10 million that they start complaining. It's when they think they don't need anyone else. They don't need the promoters. They don't need anyone. They don't need nobody. And that is wrong.
So for the first time, the WBC is catching backlash, catching a lot of flack from the entire sport of boxing. It's finally unanimous when it comes to how corrupt the WBC is. But the WBC and other organizations, they have been corrupt since the inception, since they came up with these sanctioning belts. Now, even though Chris Mannix, he is one of the grand wizards of old media, he interviewed the WBC president the way a real journalist interviews people, especially when they're putting them on the hot seat. That's something you don't see too often in the sport of boxing. Usually these guys are getting asked softball questions. The interviewer is damn near holding their hand as he interviews them instead of asking questions that fans really want answers to. As you guys all know by now, the WBC, they stripped Shakur Stevenson in record-breaking time right after they did the exact same thing to Terence Crawford. And this is really bad timing for the WBC. They're extremely unpopular by their own base, which is the race fans, which is pretty analogous to Trump being unpopular by his own base right now. But this is a bad time for the WBC to be doing all of this because right now, the Ring magazine and Turki Al-Sheikh, they're trying to completely monopolize the championship status in the sport of boxing. They want it to be just one champion in every single weight class, which would be the Ring champion, which completely makes sense. But the only thing I disagree with is them just handing a Ring belt to just whatever champion they feel has been doing more in that weight class. I feel in every single weight class, every champion should have to do what Terence Crawford did, which is win all of the belts. Once you win all of the belts, then it makes more sense to call yourself the single champion in that weight class, the Ring magazine champion. And that's why I've been telling you guys for the longest, it should be mandatory that champions, they have to unify the belts. At least one unification per year should be mandated. And if one of those champions refuses to do it, then he should be stripped of the title. But getting back to Mauricio Suleiman and Chris Mannix, once again, of course, Chris Mannix, one of the main reasons he feels comfortable exposing the WBC right now is because they have the war between, once again, the Ring magazine and all the other belts. And Chris Mannix, he works for DAZN, and of course, DAZN works with Turki Al-Sheikh. So he's not doing this because he cares about Shakur Stevenson. I mean, after all, remember, when the WBC, when they created this fake franchise status, old media, they were completely silent. In fact, they went along with whatever the WBC said. You know, a lot of them, They were calling Teofimo the undisputed champion, calling Lomachenko the undisputed champion because they had the quote-unquote franchise belt when it wasn't even a real belt. And the actual real WBC champion was Devin Haney. Lomachenko, he vacated his belt to avoid the mandatory and then contacted the WBC to get this fake franchise status. And Canelo did the exact same thing when he didn't want to fight his mandatory Jermall Charlo. So what did they do? They gave Jermall Charlo the WBC belt, and then all of a sudden they start calling Canelo Alvarez this franchise champion. And now the belt doesn't even exist. You see, people like Chris Mannix and the rest of old media, they were silent back then because when the WBC was doing that, it was benefiting the fighters that they support. Fighters like Lomachenko, fighters like Canelo Alvarez. So they didn't care if the WBC was completely bending the rules and being as corrupt as they can be. Even when Canelo Alvarez failed his drug test, tested positive for PEDs, and the WBC, they decided to raise the clenbuterol levels just so fighters from Mexico could pass the test because they claimed that in Mexico, the meat was contaminated. Once again, old media was silent because this was to protect Canelo Alvarez. But now that there's this war between the Ring magazine belt and the rest of the belts, now they're speaking out. Of course, there's no doubt about it. Everything the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, said in this interview made absolutely no sense. But once again, everything that Mauricio says when he's trying to defend the corruption that exists in that organization has never made sense. But it's just unfortunate that in the sport of boxing, there is no national commission that oversees all of this stuff. Because if there were, the WBC, they would have been out of the sport a long time ago. And other organizations as well, the WBA, the IBF, the WBO. You know, for those of you guys who don't know, when Victor Conte went to prison for selling PEDs to athletes, he wasn't even the target. He wasn't the target at all. The main target was Barry Bonds, but they couldn't find anything on Barry Bonds. So while they were investigating Barry Bonds, that's when they found out about Victor Conte. And then once they found out about Victor Conte, they started finding out where all the dead bodies were buried. Meaning they started to find all of Victor Conte's clients. Well, the reason why I'm bringing all of this up is because this whole investigation, it was created by the FBI. Guys, if the FBI were to investigate what goes on in the sport of boxing, oh man, you talking about finding some dead bodies. It would be 10 times the amount of dead bodies found in the sport of boxing when it comes to the corruption that exists. So they better hope the FBI never investigates this sport because it is the wild, wild west of sports. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Man. Listen. I got something to say. I got a lot to say. What's up, though, everyone? I'm going to say that first and foremost. I'm going to just say what's up. But I got to dive right into it. You know, I see Mauricio, you know, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? They ain't gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the f*** you think I am? Boy, you better slap your self. Ain't paying your ass shit. You talking about pay you $300,000? What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the green belt, which don't mean shit. The real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanction bodies because you feel like you better than them? How in the world all the sanction bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? You can take the belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring? Wear down as the years pass. That don't even make sense. I'm the motherfucker that's putting my life on the line, not you. You ain't stepping your motherfucking ass in that ring. You or nobody else. You or nobody else. So why should I have to pay to carry your belt? You should be paying me. If you want to be truthful, you should be paying me. I don't see it irks my nerves how this dude gets on a plane, gets a hotel suite. Him and his buddies, they go out to dinner, 5-star meals, all that, you know, and guess who got to pay for it? Us fighters. We paying for y'all to come out here, have the time of y'all life, stay in the best hotels of y'all life, and it's all done on our dime. It's done on our dime. Do that sound right to y'all? It's crazy, ain't it? We the one out there getting battered, knocked upside our head, and every time we step foot in the ring, we gotta pay them a sanction fee like they the government. We getting taxed. It's crazy. Then he said, allegedly, I made X amount of money. You don't know how much I made. You don't know how much I made. Once again, you're speculating. You're speculating. So listen, Mauricio, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Because everybody in the world know you was going for Canelo. You was mad that I beat Canelo. It's okay. It happens, you know? But if you a real fan of the sport, you would have, you know, said congratulations instead of having that little smirk on your face, all mad and pouting. But listen though, you should have took the money, and you should have been thankful and grateful that I was rocking your belt around as your champion. As your champion, the WBC champion. The undisputed champion at that. But you want to make it about you. You want to say, oh, well, you stripping me. Like, I've been stripped before. IBF just stripped me when I was at 147. Doesn't matter. I'm still considered the undisputed champion. I'm still the champion in the division. Because you know why? The only belt that's recognizable as the champion is the ring belt, baby. That's the #1 belt in the division. That trumps all belts. And guess what? It's free. It's free. How you love that? $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder how much your belt cost. Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish you the best, you know? I wish you the best, you and your company. You know, Turkey, I hope y'all get that done, man. I hope y'all get that done so we can all see, you know, people face like this guy, you know, go away from boxing because they ruin the sport with all these antics that they do. You know, they got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. You know, they don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They ain't even give me time. They stripped me, pop me, even though I wasn't, you know, coming back down the weight. But you know, they handled their business. They did what they were supposed to do. The WBC, you ain't never see them strip no Canelo for the Benavidez. He was what, mandatory for like 2 years? It's crazy. But you know, that's that favoritism shit. But I'm good though, baby. I'm good. I'm living life. I'm happy. You know. Yeah, man. Still the champion. Can't take that away from me. History already been made, baby. The great. Like I said yesterday, I am legend. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I'm about to go in here and give me a turkey burger. Fat boy.
Man, are you tired of paying crazy cable bills? Ditch cable and get the power of Block TV, the ultimate pay-as-you-go alternative to cable TV. Stream all your favorite live sports, boxing, MMA, pay-per-view fights, plus premium channels like Showtime, Starz, and HBO, all in one app. Watch your favorite TV shows and movies. No more switching between Netflix, Hulu, or Max. All for just $35 a month plus tax. Never any contracts. Cancel anytime. And when you first log in, use promo code DBNation in all caps as your password to get 30% off your first month. So to get started, just go to getblocktv.com. Once again, that's getblocktv.com.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes,
Fever blisters, diabetic ulcers.
this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODkey.com.
Like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.